Hogwarts. But anyways, let's take a closer look at each and every one of them, starting with Gryffindor Common Room. Obviously, the developers had lots of reference material to work with when it came to Gryffindor. We've seen every aspect of this dormitory, and I feel like for most of its part it remained almost unchanged to the original works. The most notable difference is the size. And by the way, that's something that is noticeable throughout the entire castle. Everything feels bigger and more spacious with more room to move around and explore. The common room right away screams Gryffindor, with warm red-colored tapestry on the walls, numerous picture frames, wood flooring, and loads of carpets. The entrance has been slightly reimagined by making it a smaller hole with knight statues guarding it, which does make sense considering that the entrance to the Gryffindor common room is via a narrow passageway behind the portrait of the fat lady. Also, it is worth pointing out that here the entrance is depicted like in the first 2 Harry Potter movies, where right before the portrait, or is this a tiny little extra hint towards Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy? Next we have Ravenclaw. I absolutely love this common room. It feels so elegant and sophisticated. It's in the architecture and the design of this room. Tall arches and sharp edges in the corners remind of the Celtic motifs. To the left and right we can see the railings. I believe that is from the staircase that leads into the common room. In the next room we can see the fireplace in the center. Behind it I believe is the Ravenclaw symbol. Note the presence of 2 globes and a telescope in the room. And if you look closer at the ceiling of the room with the fireplace, it has some sort of stellar map. I wonder if we are going to be able to use the telescope right from the common room. After all, maybe there is some sort of a balcony that allows for stargazing. Next we have Slytherin. Now this common room is absolutely massive. Again, it has its own personality and design. The tall ceilings, the green stone walls, and the lack of carpets on the marble floor makes it seem like it is much colder in this room. And it must be considering Slytherin's common room is located in the dungeons. The design is not an exact replica of the Chamber of Secrets version, but it definitely looks familiar. There's a giant skull hanging on the wall, which looks like a skull of a dragon, and these marble-like columns make it seem like they are covered in spiderweb, which give this common room a darker vibe. But regardless, I'm absolutely looking forward to hanging out here. By the way, is it just me, or does it look like this guy is up to something? He's having a sip of something, and then he appears to be looking out of an enormous stone serpent. And lastly, we have Hufflepuff. This common room is once again nothing like the other ones. Located in the basements, it has more of an earthy tone to it. It sort of reminds me of the Hobbit houses from Lord of the Rings, thanks to the rounded door frames. And the pattern on the wood columns makes me think of some Nordic architecture. The low ceilings and the presence of hanging herbs on the walls makes me also think of the kitchens, which are also next to the Hufflepuff common rooms. Also, there is a notable presence of plants in here, including these cactuses. This one even moves. Perhaps that's Mimbletonia? There's also some commotion in the background. It looks like a book is tearing itself apart. And I have a question. Does this look like a rune to you? I'm not sure what this is, but it definitely looks like some sort of symbol. On what it looks like a statue? I can't quite tell what it is, but just like every other common